bit about Skate and what it is that you guys do.
Yeah, so Skate is basically the generalization of what we used to do with our previous project called Range Protocol. It's just like a transition from that. I sort of build up from the range side. So what we used to do was active liquidity management across different asset segments like spot, perpetuals and all that. But like the key bottlenecks we were facing were like you have so many new blockchains coming up and all these project teams want to sort of expand their liquidity across them. So we were sort of helping in that, working closely with a lot of these trading partners, market makers and all that. But now we're sort of seeing like in EVM ecosystem especially, you have a lot of these projects who are trying to fork similar themes that worked on Ethereum. So in Web3 right now, most of the efforts are going in terms of like forking the same teams that worked on different ecosystems before into the new ecosystems. But eventually, I feel like this model is pretty inefficient. So what we're trying to build with Skate is a universal application scope where you have one particular application that runs on thousands of chains to one state. So you can imagine it like consider like a person can put collateral with an NFT on Ethereum and then he can borrow something on Solana, or he can use his WorldCoin ID on like Optimism and he can do something on Aptos. So these are the kind of use cases we are trying to enable. I think this would be super powerful to sort of push Web3 towards a state where now like the basic requirements are enabled through like what we are trying to build, and then these different new EVM ecosystems that are coming up, they can focus on sort of innovating again.
Right. Now, you are a co-founder of Skate. So I wanted to ask if you could give us some leadership tips that you implement into really leading and keeping up that level in your team.
Yeah, I think like first thing that I would like to say is especially like that's something that I've learned over my entire journey. I think one thing you have to be super dynamic because like on the product direction you have to sort of transition a lot of times, so you need to have that inculcated in the team entirely. Like if someone had been focusing on a particular tech stack, what if now you want to expand to do something more or something completely different? So you need to have a team who's sort of willing to sort of adapt. So it's very important that throughout the team there is like a new way of sort of learning new themes and all that. That I think is super important. Other than that, I think this is very important, like at everyone's level, they should be active in terms of community engagement because everyone has gone through a different perspective in their life in terms of like what kind of academic background they have had, what kind of projects they have worked with and all that. So from all of them, like everyone can bring a different kind of vision, and then for sort of perfecting your product, you need to actively engage with the community at your end. So on the team side, depending on like which background they come from, if they are actively engaging, you get different kinds of input. And then I think that's where we have found like the perfect things about us. When like a lot of us were engaging actively, we're figuring out a lot of new things a lot quicker instead of going through a whole cycle and then sort of pivoting. Yeah, I think that's sort of most of it. The rest, I think it's important people enjoy also. This space could be bit cumbersome at times. This is one of the most volatile asset class, and from our side, we used to work on the DeFi side of things. So it could get pretty cumbersome, like when there's super high volatility. So yeah, it's important like there's a happy culture around it.